Alright. A new Stephen King reimagining of The Dark Tower from a famous book series? Count me in, but maybe you think a 2-hour epic movie, some Lord of the Rings type action, some gunslinging thrown in there, some badass magical stuff? No. Just an hour and 35 minutes of what? What's up, everyone? My name is Zach, and I'm bringing you guys a brand new review for the Book 2 adaptation of The Dark Tower. It's finally here. We've been waiting years to get this. I mean, how many times have we heard that they were making a Dark Tower adaptation as a TV series or as a movie, and then they're going to do both, and that's what they're doing now, supposedly. And it's finally here, and it has Idris Elba playing Roland the Gunslinger and Matthew McConaughey playing the Man in Black. With this movie, I actually had a lot of anticipation for it, even before the trailers, just because the books have always brought to be some fantasized world that I've always wanted to see. I've never totally read all the books all the way through, but I have friends that have read a lot of the series, my dad's read the series, and it's all been always kept my interest of seeing what is this Dark Tower world. I want to see it come on the big screen. And the one big takeaway I can see after seeing this movie is I want to read the book now. It got my interest to say, I want to go read the books now, because it was actually very intriguing. The world that they built in here, the mythology, just everything they threw into there was very intriguing and makes me want to go read the book so I can get sucked into this world, because I really like this world that they set up and stuff. And that was one of the best parts of the film, was the mythology and the intrigue of what this world was, with the gunslingers and the magic and what the Dark Tower represents. And the one cool thing, I think a lot of things in here, is that Stephen King, I've always been a fan of some of his horror in there, and a lot of things in the movie, it ties in little bits from all of his other things, but not in a whole in-your-face way. It's more of Easter egg things that if you notice, you notice, or things that if you've read before on the books, and just stuff they threw in there that to some people will be like, okay, that scene wasn't needed, but it kind of adds a little bit more to the world that I kind of liked. I just wish they did a little more explanation for people who don't know this kind of stuff, because for me, I kind of know most of this because I've read so much about this, and I've read so much on the Dark Tower and all the theories and the intrigue, and you see some of that intrigue in here. Mythology can't make the movie great, and the sad part is that the Dark Tower's just fine. It's not a horrible trash piece that I think some people are going to make out this movie to be. It's just fine. And it's not the best, biggest, epic movie we've wanted to see. No, it's just, like I said, fine. And it's fine and simple, and that's what this movie wanted to be, I guess. It could have been more, and I think it should have been more. And that's not what I should be coming out saying out of the Dark Tower. I should be saying, this is the big summer movie you've always been wanting. This is the big summer movie that's going to keep your interest. And this is the summer movie that is such a surprise to everyone. And it isn't. And that's why I think I'm disappointed in it a little bit. My intro, I even said it's only an hour and 35 minutes. An hour and 35 minutes for something that's supposed to be super epic. And usually when they write a book and they're like, well, you can't fit all those stuff into a movie. But you don't have to. But for an hour and 35-minute movie, this movie probably could have had easily another 35 minutes thrown on there. And with a faster pace, because this movie does have a fast pace. But sometimes the pacing, even though it's fast, you feel bored through a lot of the film. You shouldn't feel bored throughout the film. Even though they're building mythology, and I'm one big fan of mythology, I love that. I found myself getting bored sometimes. And it's not because of the performances or anything, it's just dry and dull sometimes. And that's all I can really say about the film. But what I can give big props to is Tom Taylor's the kid in here is really good, and I can't wait to see what he does next. And Idris Elba in here as Roland the Gunslinger was fucking awesome. If they made a sequel to this or did a TV show with Idris Elba playing the Gunslinger again, I would totally be on board. And I know they are talking about doing a TV show, so I hope he actually shows up in the show as the Gunslinger, because he was really good in here as the Gunslinger, and it made me interested. Like the way he would reload his gun, the humor he brought into it, especially once Roland gets into New York City and gets out of the mythical world that they're in. That's when the movie really picked up for me and had some of the best shining moments in there. And a lot of the moments in New York reminded me of scenes with Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor, and how they were like, she was like, oh, what's this, what's that, and that's how Roland reacts. And it brings a lot of the humor that I wanted to see in there. It was clever humor, not dry, dull, or bland humor. No, it was actually clever humor that actually made me smile and laugh. And I liked all that little stuff, because is some in the mythology world, but there's nothing a lot until you get to New York. And New York is such a small portion of the movie, because with an hour and 35 minutes, a majority of the film takes little bits of New York. And I think that was a big issue, that they could have shown more into New York. Matthew McConaughey, I'm sure a lot of people were wondering, how is he as the Man in Black? He's good. He's fine. I don't think they gave him a lot of material to work with. Same with the other actors. I think they all did a great job with what they had. Mostly Tom Taylor's had most of the stuff that he had to, because he was the main focus of the story. He was the one pushing the story forward. But Matthew McConaughey is the Man in Black. He looked like he was having a fun time on set. I mean, he had some pretty cool powers, and I thought he looked like he had a fun time on set. But it just, he did what he had. He didn't have the best material out there, and I'm not going to totally flack this performance. He was good in it, but it's nothing Oscar-worthy or anything special. It's not a Matthew McConaughey performance. A majority of the film, I was waiting for him to go, alright, 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 let me kill your ass. No, never got that, but, you know, oh well. Honestly, there's nothing really bad about the film. It's just bland and dull. I just never, I got interested in the mythology in the beginning, and throughout the film, I kind of started losing interest, and then towards the end of the film, it ramps up super fast, and then the movie ends abruptly. And I was like, what the fuck? The movie's already done? Seriously? Really? The movie's done. That's when the movie started feeling dry for me. It's like, you ended so abruptly, but you could have added a little bit more. The movie felt so thin, with very little character development, where you could add so much character intrigue into here, and add so much more mythology building and more story. Could have made the journey more vast and adventurous. Not just, let's walk here. Oh, this thing happens. Let's walk here. Oh, this thing happens, and just exposition, exposition, exposition. And that's not what I want from The Dark Tower. I wanted this vast adventure, epic journey. With the actors involved in this, it should have been better. With the mythology and stuff from Stephen King's books in here, should have been better. The movie, like I said, thin, fine, and simple. Nothing very important, nothing huge, and just, it's not the movie we were all waiting for, and I think that's where a lot of people are going to come out with a disappointment. Can say, though, is if you've never even heard of The Dark Tower and you just catch it on cable one night, I honestly think you might come away and be like, that was a pretty cool movie. Something where, like, Van Helsing or League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I'm in the minority, but I never even heard about those movies. I just watched them on TV one day, and I was like, these movies aren't that bad. I don't know why people give them shit. They're fun. They're fine. It's nothing Oscar-worthy, and that's what The Dark Tower is going to end up being. The Dark Tower is obviously better made than those films, but that's, I think people are going to take away. You're going to have the people who come out of the theater and like, that was fun, I liked it. I mean, people who are fans of the Dark Tower books come out and say, that was wrong, and totally hate and bash the movie, because I will totally understand both ways of the field. As the movie started to get starting, it just ended, and honestly, like I said, with good performances from Idris Elba and Tom Taylor's especially, Matthew McConaughey having fun in the role and the mythology in the world, it was a fun time, I guess, but I'm not going to remember this movie in a couple days, and I'm probably never going to watch it again. I don't see myself watching it again. It's something I'm going to buy or anything, so with all that said, I'm going to give The Dark Tower a C. I don't think The Dark Tower is horrible. I just a little disappointed, and you think it would have been better for all the mythology building, all the stories and the vast adventures that you hear about the books. If you've ever read them, or you have read the books, I'm sure you're thinking the same thing. Like, this could have been better, and it should have. Maybe the TV series, if it does go through and they actually do make it, maybe it'll turn out to be even better than what this was, and we can all hope for that as well. But I know you guys, we do have another Stephen King remake coming out soon of It, and I can't wait to watch that because I'm a huge fan of Stephen King's movies, and just the vast imagination in that guy's head is awesome. But I can't wait to see what It has in store for us. The Dark Tower might have been a disappointment. Let's hope it is not. I very hope it's not. But what did you guys think of Dark Tower? Please comment down below and let me know, and let's talk about the Dark Tower, because I'm very curious to hear what you guys think. My friend enjoyed it, but he thought the same thing. It was kind of just, I'm never gonna have to see it again. But I did enjoy this more than some other movies I've seen this year. It's not the worst movie I've seen, and it's not gonna be the best movie I've seen this whole year. Like I said, not gonna remember it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will have my review of Detroit tomorrow, and I'm planning on probably doing another editorial this week as well for something special I don't really want to talk about because I have a couple of ideas, but we'll get to there soon, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this and you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you guys didn't like this video, maybe still subscribe. Maybe you'll like another video soon. Thank you guys so much for watching.